And with that, I'm going to introduce Gregg Vandivert from Eastman Kodak.
So as Bill talked about this morning, what Kodak's trying to do is bring the idea of point and shoot, which we started almost a century ago, into today's environment. And one of the things that we're going to show is how to bring point and shoot into point and click, how to bring pictures and videos to your HDTV, the biggest, brightest display you have in your home. And the way that we're doing that is through the KODAK Theatre HD Player. And one of the things that I always bring this along as a cue, because this is the Theatre HD Player. It's not a gigantic device. It's a small device. So we put it in a bigger box, so it almost looks as big as that Canon camera, but it starts out really as pretty small. And one of the reasons is because if people want to add something to their home entertainment center, they want to keep it small and not push out all of the other boxes and devices. But let me kind of walk through some of the capabilities of this. Couple things first. It's an HD device, so it outputs through HDMI or component video output at 1080. And it works either wireless or wired through an Ethernet line. 802.11n, so it can move all these things that I'm going to show you pretty rapidly across the system. And the main thing to remember is that this is not a big, giant device with a large hard drive and lots of memory in it. One of the things we found is consumers are starting to get concerned about having images on their SD cards and having images online and having images on their PC or multiple PCs within the household. And the last thing we wanted to do is have another place that your images may or may not be. So this is all about getting access to those images where they are, not having to move them. And so let me start with just a really simple screen. The first thing that's kind of different is this remote. Bill talked about it, the Kodak pointer remote. And in complexity size, it's pretty easy. It's got actually 3 buttons and 1 wheel on it, and that's it. And what you can see is I can point at my PC over here and I can move left to right, or I can point at the screen and I can move left to right. It's sensing where I am. It doesn't have to be pointed at the screen to go left and right and up and down. So if I want to relax on my couch, I don't have to hold my arm up and move it around pointed at the screen. Okay. So let me just point first at pictures and videos, because that's the key part that it's about. And it lets me look at different ways of looking at my collection of images. And I'm just going to go into albums first. Again, what this is doing is actually pulling across from the PC, not pulling from the system itself. What it's doing is showing what the names of the albums are and then how many pictures are in each of the albums. And I can use the scroll wheel just to go down and see what the albums are. Again, pulling this to my HDTV. Let's see, I think I'm good. So being in Monterey, and I see a theme from some of the other presenters, I'm going to look at golfing. And so golfing pictures, again, pulling across from the PC, it's pretty quick to pull this image and present it, again, 1180 on my big screen. And so that's pretty nice. I can just turn the little wheel on here, and I can go from picture to picture and see that. Well, one of the things that's nice, I like the idea of slideshows, and I think one of the discussions we're having is slideshow the end. Well, it's really not, because I'm going to carry down here and say that the thing I would like to add is I'd like to go and add some songs. And so it's going to pull some music right across from my PC and make my collection on the PC. I don't think that's a good song, but I think Gloria Estefan is much better. And so with a couple button clicks on my HDTV, I've been able to put now my slides together with music that I have on and start presenting a slideshow. A little more interesting than the basic slideshow. And I don't know why I applied the music about dreaming to my golf game, but that's good anyway. So the other, let's go back a few more. Okay, so again, I can look at albums, I could look at timelines, ratings, slideshows that I've already pre-assembled. The thing about this golfing vacation I forgot to talk about was, the golfing vacations are wonderful, but we've got this friend Bob. Was not able to make the golfing vacation this year. So let me actually back up. And so really what I want to do is give Bob a bit of a bad time about missing the golfing vacation. So I'm going to click on Select Multiple. And I'm doing this right from my, my HDTV, and I want to annoy Bob. And so what happened here is, since I'm a Kodak Gallery customer, I've already entered all the email addresses, all my friends on Kodak Gallery. It pulled those email addresses across right to this little box, so I don't have to re-enter them. I'm still sitting on my couch in my living room, and I can key in addresses if there's one missing, and I can check and share. Yeah, I want to share those to Bob, and off they go. Okay, so the other cool thing about that is not only did I send them off to Bob, and he'll get an email saying come to Kodak Gallery to view those pictures, but if Bob himself has a Theater HD, it'll show up as a You Have Picture Mail. If he has a Kodak Wi-Fi frame, it'll automatically show up on that frame. So those pictures that I sent to him, he'll receive, and he'll get to know about the golf trip that he missed. The other one, the receiving end of that is I can look and see the little one in the corner of this. This is somebody from Gallery shared a collection or an album with me. So again, I didn't have to go to the PC to see it. I can just sit in my living room, click through, and I can see the album that somebody else had shared. On the external of the box, we have a little LED that lights up and lets you know when there's picture mail for you. So again, I don't have to fire up the PC or go to the office and figure out how to work something to get it to work, and I can see that Bob, choosing instead of golfing, actually went on a trip with his family. So I can see Bob's pictures from his family and his family trip, and so got to see what his daughter did. Okay. The last part I'll actually leave, get all the way back. So the web media side, so we talked about the pictures and videos, so I can play, and I'll be glad to show you out in our booth, HD video playing across this. HD podcasts, music podcasts, internet music channels, hundreds of internet music channels I could have played with my slideshows also. Kodak Gallery we talked about in last, out on the display will show access to Flickr, access to YouTube. And we've really got a great YouTube experience that's not like you can get on the internet. It's actually using a full HDTV display to get access to YouTube and interact with it. And for the people who have seen it, it's definitely a different way of looking at YouTube, and we really were happy to work with YouTube and developing that. And that's it.